I failed my driving test. And you know what? I feel like that was kind of obvious that that was gonna happen. Because I put so much pressure on myself on the results. Like if you really want like a certain outcome and you're expecting a certain outcome, I feel like you're too stressed and you're not in the present moment anymore, so you can't see the signs. Literally, like, I mean, it's the best metaphor because of driving. Like, I mean, literally, like the speed limit signs and stuff like that. Because I was so stressed out, even though I had the skills. And then I thought, wow, what a beautiful lesson. Because I feel like that happens quite often. I also realized, like, when I was working with kids who have like learning difficulties, that most of the time that's the issue. It's not that they're lacking the skills, but most of the time they're lacking the confidence or they're being too stressed, so they don't see the signs or they can't think straight. But yeah, it's more like an internal work than actually a lack of skill. And yeah, I was just too attached to the outcome. I was like, okay, I need it. I'm leaving soon, like I'm moving countries, so I really need it before I leave, and it will help me with this and that, and I cannot afford to take more um more lessons and everything. So I was like, okay, that's it now. I invested so much money, I don't have any more money. Like it has to happen now. And I don't know, I yeah, that was just too much to handle. And obviously when the outcome wasn't the one I expected, I was like, I don't know. It felt like life was over for me. I was so sad and devastated. I was sad and angry at the same time. I was just like yelling and like crying at the same time. It was pretty messy. And yeah, and then I was like, kind of like disappointed, I guess, that my reaction was the same as the first time I failed. And yeah, no wonder, because I was too attached to it. I was giving it too much like importance, even though it's not that important. Nothing really matters if you think about it. But I was just, yeah, too focused on it, and as if like failing makes me a failure. Like, honestly, I'm like, Joe, it doesn't matter. You can do it again. You can do that how many times you like, and if not now, maybe later. Maybe you're not ready, but not from like a skills perspective, but more like from like the inner work, more from the mindset. I think that's what I have to work on the most before I try again. And yeah, also, but the thing I was proud of, the thing I was proud of myself for is that this time, okay, it's the first time that I'm passing a test, and that before the test I'm not stressed out. Somehow I managed like to get into such like a chilled and relaxed place that I kept like yawning and everything. And I mean, that's a sign that your muscles are relaxing and your whole body is relaxing. And I don't know, at some point I was like even smiling and like laughing. And I was like, oh wow, it's the first time I'm not stressed out. And it feels so good. Like literally, I was like, oh, wow, it can be like that. So I guess I did learn something and I did improve. Maybe not as much as I wanted, but that's quite a big victory already. And what I did to stay calm, because I find these places where everyone is waiting to pass a test are like very stressful. Like you can feel it in the air. So I just put in my earphones and I was listening like to some like plant music. So like really calm, like soothing sounds. And so yeah, while I was listening to this music, at first I was just like doing some breathing exercises and then like some grounding exercises. So basically, yeah, I was yeah, grounding my body and connecting to my body and my breath. And once I did that, I started like telling myself like stories, to make it less stressful. I was like, okay, so now, just going on like a little journey, like a little voyage, and your friends there like going to be in the car with you. This one is going to tell you where the trip is going, like in the back, and the other one is just there to keep you safe. It's like your little guardian angel. And then I was also like, so I was writing this whole story in my head, and it brought me so much peace and like very like poetic. And I was like imagining how um some animals were like, like kind of like going on this trip with us. There was not only people in the 3D, but also like animals and guides in the 5D. So it's just like picturing like, I don't know, like an owl, because they're like, like, I don't know, they couldn't turn their head how many degrees, but anyway, they can look behind. So and I was like, okay, that's good. So the owl's gonna keep you safe. It's gonna watch every corner. It's gonna be aware of like everything that's going around you. Then you have like, I don't know, the eagle, this can look very far, and then I don't know, like a dragon and everything. And I was like, just like, yeah, writing this whole story of all these like animals like flying above the car and going on this journey with me. And so, and imagining that, yeah, the two people with me in the car, there's like my friends, and yeah. And that was so helpful, and I felt so good and so calm, and I was like, wow. And then I was just like, yeah, imagining that like that that it's like the vehicles are like fishes, and everyone is like, yeah, that the cars are like fishes, and that, it's like the roads are like the sea, and all the fishes, they kind of, dance together. It's like a dance. I was like, driving is like a dance. It's like, like, I don't know, un banc de poisson, I don't know how you call that in English, but yeah, all the fishes like swimming together. And I was like, it's like a dance. You have to stay in harmony, so you can't dance by yourself. You have to be aware of your surrounding, to flow with them, so that it's like, yeah, so it's just like a nice dance, and that it's smooth. And that helped so much. All these like beautiful images, and even like driving, and all the movements you have to do in the car while you drive, I don't know, like this and this and whatever. This is not how you drive, but you know what I mean. And I was like, okay, it's literally like a dance, like a performance, like, those movements, like, it is not how you do it, but you know what I mean. Okay, so I was like, okay, not only is like the car a fish surrounded by other fishes like in the sea, and but also you inside like this fish, you're performing, so it has to be smooth. And just because I love dancing, and that's what I do best, like naturally. So I was like, okay, just picture it like a dance, and try to be like very, like, how do you say, very like sensitive, and feel it. And yeah, I was quite surprised by myself. I was like, wow, that was so creative. And I was just like talking to myself for half an hour, and I was like, oh, I feel so much inner peace. I mean, I failed, but that's awesome. Like, it's the first time, literally. And yeah, it was just so beautiful, like how I was writing this story, and yeah, imagining and how everything is working together to get me there, and that everyone is like doing, like, behaving a certain way or saying certain things because they love you. So I was like, before you get in the car, the one, like, I don't know who gives you, like, who tells you if you pass the test or not, the one sitting in the back, I don't know what you call him, but he basically asks you a couple of questions like around the car. And I was like, and so in my head I rewrite the story, and I was like, okay, he's asking you all these questions because you're going on this trip together, and he cares about you, he loves you, so he wants to make sure that you're safe. And so just, yeah, just switching all these things made me feel so good. It was so nice. I was like, okay, it's always just a question, like, of perspective. It depends how you see it. And yeah, seeing it that way is like, just now, even talking about it brings me so much like inner peace. I feel like so calm right now. And yeah, so that was already like quite the victory, and I'm very happy about that. And hopefully next time I'll learn to fail gracefully and not feel myself like a failure.